Sup shooters, my name is Logan aka Spider Hands and welcome to SB Reviews, where today we're going to be checking out a track by an artist named Young D titled Champions Only. And if we switch over to here for Champions Only on Spotify, we can see here I've got a whole bunch of releases from this dude. I actually reviewed V for Vendetta yesterday. It's pretty dope. Pretty keen to check out more of his material. You can see here for Champions Only, it's got the, the explicit version in the radio edit, and as I mentioned for V for Vendetta, it's a really smart move to have both versions. It means that people who, if you're sending promo kits to radio, that people can sort of have that clean option if they really need it. And it also means that, Young D is flexible as an independent musician. It's intelligent work on his part, and I'm really thankful for that, as well as Studio Memphis Entertainment. Well done on this. Let's get into it. Let's start Champions Only from the beginning and hear what we think. Okay, we've got some sort of sampling going on at the start. Oh no, we got some brass. Oh, I'm liking it. Oh damn. I'm liking how I think this is the hook. I'm liking the drum kit at the start, that piano line, very kind of somber, but it's got an air of sort of victory around it at the same time. Suppressing my feelings, gotta get to the bag, call it personal healing, run it up with the numbers, I'm making the killing, make them haters real sick, they say I be illin', really I be chillin', even in the summer. Okay, I think I made the same mistake for V for Vendetta where I thought it started with the hook. It's just a strong enough start to the song that sounds like it should be the hook, instantly you get the presence of someone who you eventually realize every single part of the song matters equally to them. And they put a whole lot of passion into it, a whole lot of X factor into it. I really dig it. I'm thinking that's an honor. At the table with the winners, hollers, bread runners. Toast your bottles in the air. It's a victory for champions only. It's a win you can't really understand. You feel it only rest. We've got that same kind of vocal panning that we had in V for Vendetta, where it kind of goes between the sides of him. This is obviously sort of a staple of his type of music. A way you can sort of recognize him, as an artist immediately. And again, that's another really clever thing to do. Just have something in your music that's stylistically consistent between your releases. And, that will mean that people will recognize you, especially if you're doing collaborations or anything like that. Having that bit of extra edge can sometimes even mean you stand out more than the central core artist. You know what I mean? That bass line is so slick there. That celebration's pretty slick, eh? We got the hook here. It's a catchy hook. I'm loving how he's like, hey. I'm liking how he knows that you don't actually have to. You don't always have to be philosophical the whole time. You can just have celebration, which matches the Champions Only thing. Say, hey, look, we made it. Look how well we're doing. Just that kind of that moment to be sort of proud of what you managed to accomplish together. I think that's a beautiful thing, and it makes sense in this. It's very stylistically cohesive. Hey, tell me, do you really know the feeling? All my homies with me steady winning. Picture that, or maybe even turn up for that check. Feeling like the whoop protect your neck. My shooters stay on deck. I demand some respect. You just computer thugging. I'm coming with the tech. Paper chasing for so long, I need a rest. And you've been hating for so long, you need a vest. I've been heartless for so long, don't need a chest. And you've been checking for so long. This rhythm, but you can kind of get lulled into just following it, and it's nice that it's sort of that it repeats itself. That phrasing there in that verse. It doesn't need to be random the whole time. You can have that kind of groove in the way you communicate. That means that people can sort of vibe along to it. It also follows the drums and a bit of the piano parts. It's all really considered. It's all really considered quite well. At the top of the list, I'm the best of the best, and I say it so humble, I never double back. You wanna get some insight, come ride with the man. bottles in the air. It's a victory for champions only. It's a win you can't really understand.
I think those kind of brass are sort of to represent the victory, the people who made it through the struggles, you know, the people who made it through all of the difficulties, who sort of hustled and managed to make it to the top.
They only rest keep within. Champions only. Try explain, you can't really comprehend. I must say again and again. Champions only. When you're stacking paper, making dividends, mistakes never matter in the end. Then we throw it like, hey.
Is there like an organ in there? I'm loving how there's also, are there other vocalists as well kind of going in there for that sort of group chant effect? Again, a very somber way. Those piano, I don't know whether he's recorded a piano or whether he's using samples. Either way, it's cool. It's beautiful. That piano is so clean and so prescient in the mix, and it's really pretty. It's so professional. I'm blown away by this guy. It's, you know, sometimes, especially with the most recent track, you get the best of what the person can provide because it's the latest one. They've had the most time potentially to get that one right. So you can't always guarantee that something from even a year later will be of the same quality by virtue of maybe having had less experience or maybe not had access to the right sort of team to help them sort of produce and mix it, or maybe themselves if they're producing or recording their own stuff. Maybe they're missing a few bits of kit or whatever, but you know, Young D isn't in that position. They're equally good on their own merits, V for Vendetta and Champions Only. I'm really pleased with this. I'm loving this filter work here as well, just to finish. It's so much more refreshing than having a fade out. It's so... oh, gorgeous. It's so classy. This kind of hip-hop where they have these sort of R&B instruments and add some sort of soul and kind of jazz parts and all that, you know, those kind of brass instruments, bit of organ work, having those really slick basses from the 70s and 80s tones. It's so cool when artists can like use different kinds of basses or different kinds of drum kits and don't just rely on the same set that maybe worked for one single and try to apply the same template to a whole lot of others. It gives it that unique sort of identity. That gives it a sense of identity, because when you release a single, you know, it needs to be something that people will remember. Especially in this day and age where there's so much competition, you need it to be super memorable so that it even stays in someone's head for a day. Because if they hear a super catchy track and they tell 5 of their friends and they tell 5 of theirs, you know, it's like a pyramid scheme, but one that actually benefits people in general. And like, it's so well, I can't fault it. It's the same for V for Vendetta. I got no criticisms of it. It just goes to show how, like, on another level, independent artists, musicians and artists are, you know, like, I'm not sure what level Studio Memphis Entertainment is at, like, whether they're, like, affiliated with, like, a major label, like a subsidiary of a major label, or whether they're just, like, or whether they're an independent. It doesn't matter, right? Because what we're hearing is it's just beautiful. There is obviously that sort of attitude and sort of, like, it's true to sort of hip hop and rap and all that, and sort of subject matter being the Victory Circle and sort of talking about the progress that you made and getting through all of this stuff like that and rising up and just kind of making the most of your situation, getting it what you can out of your life and being in that Victory Circle, the people who actually made it and they aren't. And because, you know, it can be dangerous to, you know, it can be dangerous in the music industry. And, you know, to be able to make it through your life in the end, to get past all the bullshit and to be able to sort of say you made it is definitely worth it. I think that's what just sort of capitalizes on it. It feels like a celebration of what Young D and other rappers around him have managed to accomplish. And I think that's really sincere and genuine. And, yeah, clever instrument choice. The mixing and mastering was spot on. And the way that he rapped as well, like, not just the way it was mixed and recorded with this sort of the aux chain and the stereo panning and stuff like that. It's It's about the way he communicates. It's so mature and it shows humility. There's never the sense that he thinks that he's better than you. It is sort of a sense of understanding of what's required to be successful, to be a champion. But it's done in a way that anyone can sort of comprehend, and sort of it's more welcoming than kind of, get the hell away from us, we're better than you. I love that as well. But anyways, that's basically my review of Champions Only. I apologize if I've misinterpreted the track and what it's about, but hopefully I'm not too far off. Thank you for watching this review of Champions Only by Young D. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please do check out Young D's social medias and Spotify, as there's a lot of good music to sort of look through. Stay cool and stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time. It needs to help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. Spider hands out.